You had never fired a rifle before the army handed you one. In some cases, they didn't hand you one at all. You were told to follow the man in front of you, and when he fell, to pick up his weapon. That was the training. Operation Barbarossa. The German invasion, launched on June 22nd, had shattered entire Soviet armies in weeks. The Wehrmacht moved so fast that whole divisions were encircled before commanders even knew the front had collapsed. You were fed into this chaos as a Ryadovoy, the lowest rank in the Soviet military structure. You were 22. Some of the men beside you were 17. Your uniform was a khaki gymnastika tunic that didn't quite fit. Your kit was a canvas bag, a mess tin, and an ammunition allotment that was frequently less than theoretical. You carried a Mosin Nagant bolt-action rifle, 5 rounds per cycle, a weapon older than your grandfather. The men called it the 3-line. You called it everything you had. The Eastern Front did not look like war was supposed to look. It looked like mud and tree lines and the permanent absence of sleep. It looked like orders that arrived after they were already obsolete. It looked like a commissar behind the line reminding you that order number 227, Stalin's not one step back directive, meant exactly what it said. When men ran, they were shot. The system was built so that forward was the only direction without consequences. Tonight, your platoon holds a railroad embankment outside Rhehev, January, -30 for 6 days. You have no winter boots. Those went to the wrong sector. You've wrapped your feet in cloth torn from a dead man's coat. You are not warm, but you are standing, which tonight is the same thing as winning. The German positions are 400 meters east. Occasionally, a flare goes up and turns the snowfield white and bright as daylight. You do not move when the flares go up. You are learning everything in real time in the worst classroom ever built. You will survive this night. You will not survive the next push. Or you will survive the push and not survive the winter. Or you will survive both and end up somewhere worse, a place called Stalingrad, where survival becomes its own kind of madness. You don't know yet. Right now, you know only the embankment, the cold, and the man to your left, whose name is Dmitri, who has not spoken in 2 days and whose silence you have decided to interpret as focus rather than fear, because the alternative is not useful. The Ryadovoy didn't win this war in heroic strokes. He won it by not dying long enough for something to shift. By the time it did, roughly 8.7 million Soviet military personnel had been killed. The Ryadovoy accounted for most of that number. History doesn't always leave room for the ones who held the line with nothing. It should. Mladší Sergeant, Junior Sergeant. You have been promoted. It happened less because of merit and more because everyone above you was dead. That's not cynicism.